Our next guest, a Bomber alum, was drafted by the Blue Jays in the 2013 draft and acquired by the Dodgers 2 years later. A man who knows a thing or two about taking one for the team, Mr. Timmy Locastro. Thank you so much for joining us, Tim.
Thanks for having me, Stephen. Appreciate it.
No problem, no problem. I know you've got a busy offseason. Looks like you're in the gym right there. I want to talk a little bit about your junior year at Ithaca. You were the league leader in being hit by pitches with 29. Does that say a lot about the player that you are?
I mean, that was just a special year as a team and as a whole. I mean, we were literally from the start of the season in fall ball and everything, all we wanted to do was win and get to the national championship. Unfortunately, we fell short. We lost in the College World Series, came in third place. We lost in the 14th inning. But for me that season, I batted second and third, and my job was to get on base for the guys behind me. I mean, some of my buddies and best friends still to this day, they were the big boppers on that team, and I was just trying to get on base for them.
So good. Okay, so table setting would that be one of your fortes then?
Yes, I'd say so. I mean, that's my goal even to this day. I mean, even whatever level I've been at, I've usually been 8-9 or 1-2 in the lineup, and exactly like we said before, setting the table for the guys behind me. I mean, I have a little power, but I'm not going to be the guy that hits 25, 30 home runs a year. I'm trying to get on base for those guys and score as many runs as I can, really.
Very good. We like hearing that as Dodger fans. But talk about your decision going back to Ithaca to forego your senior season. That had to be a big decision for you. Kind of take us through that.
I mean, absolutely. That was probably one of the toughest decisions of my life, to be honest with you.
Sure.
I mean, especially with all the friends that I made there, and like I said earlier, some of the kids are my best friends, and the coaches there that helped me get to where I was. But it sort of got to the point where it's an opportunity that you can't really pass up. Who knows what could happen if you went back to your senior year? I mean, that's a little cliche to say, but it was just an opportunity you could not pass up.
Absolutely. A door like that opens for you. I don't know any of us that would be able to pass that up. And, because regret's a big thing in life. So
I know. A few of my friends to this day still make fun of me and say you should have came back. But I know if they were in my shoes, they probably would have done the same exact thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. But they got to rib you for it.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I mean, if I was them, I would too.
Now, Tim, you are a hard-nosed player. You're versatile. You play multiple positions. You've got quick feet and hands. And who did you pattern your game after while you were growing up?
I mean, growing up, obviously in New York, I was a big Yankees fan. I looked up to Jeter, but I'd say my favorite player growing up was probably Paul O'Neill.
Okay.
I mean,
right.
we don't play the same position, but just the way he played the game and his hard-nosed attitude, and even George Steinbrenner, his nickname was the Warrior, and sort of try to model my gameplay after him, but not exactly my style of play because we're different positions.
Sure. No, absolutely. I was talking to Eric Vrsalovich of Dodgers-LowDown earlier today about this interview, and I said, I bet you he says Derek Jeter, but Paul O'Neill definitely surprises me.
Yeah, Paul O'Neill. He came in Toronto when I was younger, and I was able to meet him too. So I'm sure that played a role when I was growing up, just being able to see him live in person. We took a picture together and everything. He obviously doesn't remember that, but that was one of the crown jewels of my childhood, getting to meet him and take a picture with him.
Talk about that. I mean, how old were you when you got to meet Paul O'Neill?
I think I was in like second or third grade. It was every single year a family and my family would go up to Toronto and see a game because Toronto was actually closer than New York was. So going up there to watch the Yankees was a special experience, and being able to see Paul O'Neill and take a picture with him, pretty awesome. And just a crowning jewel of my childhood, definitely. Seeing all those big league guys up close in person, it was awesome.
Absolutely, absolutely. I remember Pedro Guerrero, an old Dodger player, one time he said hello to me, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a highlight of my life. Talk about the transition from going from the Blue Jays organization to the Dodgers organization. What are the similarities between the two, and what are the differences?
I mean, it was a very surreal experience when it happened. Definitely didn't have any idea that I was going to get traded or anything of that sort. Didn't even at any time cross my mind.
Sure.
But I think just when you get onto the baseball field, it's back to playing baseball. I think the hardest transition for me was switching completely over to a different team and not knowing a soul and going from completely across the country to California, and just a lot changed in a quick amount of time. I remember I actually got the call that I was traded early in the morning and was on a plane that night, and the next day it was July 3rd which was basically one of the biggest minor league moments of the year with all the fans and everything.
Yeah.
And my parents were coming out to see me before I got traded.
Oh, wow.
So it was just a complete whirlwind of emotions, and I'm happy everything worked out, though. It worked out for the best, and I'm excited for the opportunity presented for me and where it's taking me now.
Very good, very good. Welcome to the Dodgers organization, by the way. You're very welcome. Talk about, I mean, when you're making that transition, who are the guys that kind of stepped up, and the guys you can mention? I mean, I'm sure a lot of guys stepped up and welcomed you to the organization, but who were the first couple that kind of come to mind?
Well, it goes back to I got traded with Chase DeYoung, who was a Blue Jay, and my first year we played together. So when we first got there, I actually lived with him when we were in California. So just being able to go with somebody that you were friends with and could hang out with was a good thing. And then you got to meet everybody else and get more comfortable with everybody else, which was awesome. But everybody there was just great. And some of those guys right now, I still talk to every day. And if it wasn't for them helping out and being so friendly, it would have been a lot tougher transition. I can tell you that much.
Sure. And just talk about, I mean, were there any differences as far as the organizations? I mean, the Blue Jays are a great organization. The Dodgers, obviously, a storied organization. What are the differences you see?
I mean, there's a lot of little things that are different, but I think for me, the biggest thing that I noticed is the Dodgers had a lot more laid-back attitude about things. I mean, I thought that was a good thing, but other people could view it as a bad thing, but I thought it was great. I mean, it just coming into your own and trying to adapt to each organization's philosophies. That's the biggest difference that I had to do. And once you get comfortable with the philosophy, you got to take it and run with it.
Well, I mentioned your versatility earlier. I mean, you play second base, shortstop, and the outfield at times.
Yeah.
How hard is it to make that constant transition? And what's your strongest position, you feel?
I mean, growing up, I was always a shortstop. In college, I was a shortstop. And then when I got drafted by the Blue Jays, they moved me to primarily second base. So I worked on second base almost all the time. But I'm comfortable in basically every single position, and I think you have to be in this situation. My role as a player to be versatile. I mean, I'm very comfortable in the outfield, center field, left field. I even played a little first base this year, which was new to me. Yeah. But the Dodgers were really good about it because they let you know where you're going to play so you can get some work in. Like in spring training, I'd never played first base in my life. I had a bunch of coaches helping me out at first base, which is great. I mean, it's not like they just throw you out there and you got to fend for yourself. They do a great job in putting you in position to be successful. I'm thankful for that.
Absolutely. Talk about the honor it is to be selected to play for the Arizona Fall League. That doesn't happen to just anybody.
No, that was a pretty surreal experience. I mean, just being around all those guys and coming into your own. And like I said, it's like when you get traded from somewhere, you're going to a new team with a bunch of guys you've never met before, and getting to be close with those guys. I mean, those are relationships that are going to last you a lifetime. And I think that's the number one thing I took away from that, just being able to experience it with all these great prospects.
When you're hitting, are you crowding the plate as much as I think you are, or is that some sort of an optical illusion?
I probably shouldn't tell if the other pitchers are listening to this. I probably shouldn't say what my tricks are, but when I was in college, I crowded the plate more than probably anybody in America, literally, with that statement.
Yeah.
But as you go up the ladder and stuff like that, you get pitchers throwing a little harder. I probably stepped off the plate a little more and tried to get my arms extended for hitting. It turned out that you got to be a hitter first rather than getting hit by the ball first. So I think my philosophy has changed a little as a hitter since college, but I'm on the plate a little bit, I guess. Trying to win every day and committed to winning, and that's the biggest thing. I think people think that's a little cliche, but for me personally, that's my number one goal. I mean, my goal is to win games, move up the ladder, and help the Dodgers win a World Series and get a World Series ring. I'd say that is my number one goal in life, is to win a World Series ring.
I like that. Wow. Now, I mean, in your wildest dreams, you make it to the Dodgers, you're helping the Dodgers win a World Series, you're in that Game 7. What position are you playing, first of all, and how much do you want to be up in that last inning?
I don't know what position I'm at, but I'm going to be up in the 9th inning, and if I have to take a pitch and steal second base, I mean, you can count on it. I'll tell you that much, and then score on a single to win the World Series.
Nice.
That's what would happen.
Nice. That's what we're all dreaming of. Let me tell you that, Tim.
Hopefully, I'll be able to get in some action on the other side. Last year, I was able to get in one game, which was just an awesome experience. My father was actually out there at the time. It was Easter Sunday.
Oh, nice.
And for him being able to see me play on the big league side was just unbelievable experience for him. I think he was even more excited than I was, to be honest with you.
Oh, I bet. What a joy for him. What a gift. Talk about the game. I mean, what did you get to do? What position did you play, and did you get any at bats?
I played second base. I came in on a double switch for Kenta Mieda, who was huge at that time. He still is huge, but just coming over to America, he was a major deal and everything. And having to go in for him, that was. I mean, I was obviously nervous, but I went in, played second base, and then I was able to get 3 at bats. My first at bat, I got hit by a pitch, obviously.
Figures, yeah.
A sac fly and a single. So
nice.
It was a good day at the plate.
Very productive for your first.
Place the field too. It was awesome.
Wow, what an experience. Now, I hope you get in some more action. Was that a split squad game, or what was the scenario there?
It was against the Reds. It was just the Easter Sunday. It was not a split squad game. I don't know if there was injuries or something of that sort, but they needed a few extra guys, and we didn't know if we were going to get in the game. But I was fortunate enough to get in the game and get 3 at bats and play the field. It was awesome.
Who's we? It sounds like there was a couple of you that got to go.
It was me, Jordan Tarsevich, Kyle Garlick, Andrew Tolles, and I'm sure there was a few other pitchers that were over there. I mean, I just remember those guys because we were on the bench for the first few innings together.
Sure. Wow, that must have been awesome. That must have been.
Yeah.
Well, now with the Blue Jays organization, did you get any taste like that, or?
I did not. I was there. 2 spring trainings there, and my first spring training, I had to go to extended spring. So I was younger at that time. I was 20, 21 years old, which I wasn't really expecting it at that time, but. Now that you taste it at one time, you can't get enough of it, so you want to keep playing it more and more. So
absolutely,
that's my goal coming into this spring training.
Yes, very good goal. We look forward to. I want to see you out there playing. I mean, I'm excited. I like the player that you are. I like the demeanor that you have on the field, and I think that Dodgers front office is looking for players like that, and obviously. They are, because they went out and they gave up some international draft picks to go and get you. I mean, how does that make you feel?
I mean, like you said, it's nice that another team wanted you like that, and you just try to reward them and get up there and help do what they want you to do and get them a World Series ring. That's the goal. I mean, everybody in this organization has the same goal, and that's my goal. I don't think that wherever I start, I mean, my goal is to get to the majors and win a World Series ring for them. I work out probably 6 days a week. I do a lot of arms, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
take us through a workout.
I work out a lot. I mean, the Dodgers, their organic food, it's sort of translated into the off season the past 2 years, and I've taken that and ran with it even in the off season. I try not to get away from that. So it definitely helps.
Is there a spot that you try to get hit if you're gonna get hit? I mean, are you trying to turn into it, or it just whatever?
I'm not trying to get hit in the ribs or the head.
Yeah.
Anywhere else, I got muscle or some sort of protection that'll help me. I mean, the ribs and the head or the face are probably the 3 spots that you don't want to get hit. I remember getting hit in the elbow before when I didn't have an elbow guard, and that was pretty bad because it's just bone.
Now, tell us about, I mean, you hit for the cycle. I mean, I don't know very many human beings on Earth that have hit for the cycle, and you did that last May. Tell us about that experience.
I mean, to tell you the truth, it was one of those games where I was just locked in. It's tough to explain. I remember hitting my double and then a home run, and I remember just thinking to myself, man, I feel good today. And then I had an infield single, and then it wasn't like a perfect game where they don't say anything to you. Everybody was saying stuff to me. So I knew my last at bat, if I hit a triple, it was going to be the cycle. But I didn't know if I was going to get up. Unfortunately, a few of the guys in front of me, they got some hits, and I got up, and we were facing a submariner. And those guys are tough to hit. I just remember he left one over the plate, and I hit it into the right center gap, and I said, I'm running the third no matter what. I don't care if I get thrown out, I'm going for it. I think we were up like 10-1. I had to go for it. I would have regretted it the rest of my life. I stopped at second, locked in like I'd never been before. It was sort of one of those moments where you're just blacked out at the plate, not thinking about much at all. And I think that translated from being in a 13-game hitting streak where I'm very comfortable at the plate. And it was towards probably the middle part of the first half of the season where you're comfortable with the guys around you. And we had a great team to start the year in Rancho, and that was great. When you can get comfortable with the guys on your team, it makes everything a lot better.
Tim, we look forward to 2017 and watching you develop into the major league talent that the Dodgers are expecting you to be. Best of luck this year, and look forward to hearing more from you coming soon.